Hi, this is Ambi from Board Game Blitz, and today I'm going over a recap of all the games I played in June. So I log my plays using BG Stats, which links to Board Game Geek. So BG Stats is an app where I track plays, and Board Game Geek is a website with a lot of board game data on it. But in June, I had 58 plays of 20 different games, and that's because 30 of them were from the same game, My First Adventure Finding the Dragon, which is a choose-your-own-adventure children's RPG for toddlers. I've talked about it before many times because my kids love reading this, but basically for about 2 weeks straight, both of my kids chose this as the bedtime story, so I was reading it twice each night for 2 weeks straight, but I think they're over that phase now, luckily. But yeah, they love the book. I was getting a little tired of it. I'll quickly go over other games that were not new to me, but I played 6 plays of Phantom Inc., 2 plays of Cross Clues. Those are both word party games. Oh, I also played 2 plays of Codenames, which I haven't talked about recently since it's been a while since I played that. But that's like the original word party game. Well, not the original, but one of the earlier ones that I really like. Codenames is a team word party game where you're guessing, there's a grid of words and you're trying to clue one-word clues to your team to try to get them to guess as many words as you can. We also played one play of Codenames Blizzard Edition, which is new to me. So this edition wasn't actually published, I think, but given out to employees of Blizzard, which is a video game company. So we saw it at a game cafe in Southern California when we were on vacation and decided to play it. I don't really know all the Blizzard characters, and neither did my teammates. So it was really hard to clue them in on names because there was nothing else to do. So I was able to give clues to my teammates for the ones that also meant other words and stuff, but we were stuck on the last one, which was a name of someone. The other team did have some Blizzard knowledge, so they were able to win. But basically those Codenames IP editions, probably not great if you don't know the IP. I also played one play of Unlock Game Adventures as an escape room style game. This one I think was Mysterium themed, which was kind of cool. It had some Mysterium game stuff in there, but some of it worked and some of it didn't. Another game that I haven't played in a long time is Bunny Bunny Moose Moose, which is a party game by the same designer as Codenames, Lada Schwatel, but it's a lot more difficult to learn. It's a party game that's actually really fun to watch and harder to play, but in the game, you're rotating being the hunter, and the hunter is flipping cards over one at a time while reading this rhyme, and the cards show pictures of bunny or a moose with different ear or horns up or down with point values on them, and you're trying to get the most points by being either that bunny or moose, and so you're going like this with your ears, and this to be like a moose or a bunny, and up or down, or antlers out or antlers closed to try to get the most points. And there's cards with negatives and positives, and so it keeps changing, so everyone's just changing, and then at the end they have to freeze, and that's how they score. I really like it. It's fun, silly party game, but also very difficult to try to score. I also played a lot of games with my kids that we've played before: Rory's Story Cubes, Building Site, and Nibble Brunch Crunch, which I think I've talked about before. And then I played Pocketbook Adventures on the road trip, which I've talked about before as well. It's a solo kind of puzzly RPG that you just need a pencil for, and it fits in your pocket. I got it as a review copy a while ago and talked about it on the podcast then, but I've been playing it on my trips, so I played it in the car. And then another not new to me game, but I haven't talked about in a while, is Cheeky Monkey. This is a press your luck game where you're drawing chips out of a bag, and if you draw 2 of the same chip, then you bust, but if you don't, then you can keep them. And then if you draw a monkey, you can steal or switch it with someone else's. And if you draw the same chip that's on someone else's stack, then you get to steal it from them. And the animals have different distributions. So if you have the majority, there's 10 monkeys, which is the most. If you have the majority, then you get a bonus of that number. It's always funny because there's always one person who's doing really well and getting a lot of chips, and then there's that one person who just can never get any chips. They always bust after drawing just 2 chips. So that's funny. So now onto the new to me plays. I played 2 plays of Marvel United, which is a cooperative game. You're each a different Marvel character trying to fight against bad guys. It was pretty simple gameplay-wise, but we lost both times. It was hard to win. But on your turn, you have these cards that have different actions on them, like move or punch, and you're playing them down to do the actions. But the person who before you also played a card, and you can chain your actions with theirs. So you get the actions of your card plus the player before you's card. And so that was kind of neat, chaining those actions and then trying to play a good card so that the next person can also do a good action too. But the first game we played, we got super unlucky and died really fast. And then the second game, we did better, but we still died. A new to me children's game that I played is Blitzschnell, which I played twice with my kid. I also talked about this on the podcast. But Blitzschnell is a speed jigsaw puzzling game. You each have a jigsaw puzzle that you're trying to build, and all the pieces are in the middle, and you're like trying to take them from the middle, find the ones that are in your jigsaw puzzle, and then solve it. It's for children though, so each jigsaw puzzle is only 9 pieces, so it's pretty easy. But my kid loves jigsaw puzzles and also vehicles. All the jigsaw puzzles are different vehicles, so this game is fun for him. Another children's game that I also talked about on the podcast is my first escape game, The Magical Forest. So I only played a partial game of this, 1 chapter out of 3 or 4. But this is an escape room game for kids. It says ages 5+, but I think like I would be able to play it with one of my kids. The other kid was getting a little distracted, but it has like cards that you hide around the room, and you're facilitating as the parent. You're reading a story to them, and then you hide the cards for them and then like help them with clues and stuff. But my kids really like searching for things in an escape room, so they like looking for the cards, and then they find the cards, and then they can do like a little puzzle. The cards had different like puzzles and riddles on them, like some of them were find these certain things or put the cards together to make a shape or something. So that was pretty fun, and it was cool having another escape room game for my kids to play. I got to play Fun Facts one time. So Fun Facts is a cooperative party game. It's kind of like a cooperative version of the game Timeline, but you're like writing in your own answers. So it gives like different prompts, different questions, like how good of a cook are you, or how many push-ups can you do? And then you write down the number, and everyone's writing down their own number for themselves. And then you go around in order, placing your number thing face down on the table, and then like the next person places theirs above or below yours, and the next person places it like between them or above or below, and you're trying to like put it in order. So I thought it was okay. Some of the questions were kind of weird, and so that kind of like made it not as enjoyable. And then also it was kind of easy to game, so like someone could just put like 100 or 0 on the rate from 0 to 100, and then they know they can put it on the bottom if they're the last person to go. But it was okay, and it brought up some good, interesting discussion topics. I also played Illiterati, which I got as a review copy, and I will be talking about it on the podcast in the future after I play it more. But Illiterati is a cooperative word game. You have a bunch of tiles of different letters, and you're making words out of them. But there's also enemies that come out each round that do like special powers, like getting rid of some of your tiles and stuff. And in order to win, you have to bind books, which means you have to like use specific categories of words and use like specific types of letters to make those words. And everyone's trying to do that. And in the word building phase, it's all timed 3 minutes. You get 3 minutes each round to build these words. And everyone's like building words. You can trade letters between people, but like one person can't have too many words. You can't have more than 8 words. And like everyone's trying to complete their objectives and stuff. And if you have too many letters unused, that's bad. So it was pretty hectic trying to build the words and then also like trying to fulfill your objectives. And then also as the rounds go on, you're getting more letters. So if you fulfill an objective, you can discard those tiles, but then you get more letters each round. And if you don't fulfill objectives, then you're getting just more letters, which means you're gonna be getting more letters, have to build more words, but then you have like the word limit. So that will be bad, and it'll be harder to use all of the tiles. We played it at the max player count 5, which seemed like a lot of letters, so it's hard to make words. But it also was easier, I guess, because you have a lot of choices of letters. So I want to try it at a lower player count and see how that is. I played on stream for Northwood, a solo trick-taking card game. I played the free print and play version, but there's also a published version. But this is a solo trick-taking card game, which like sounds weird. Like, how do you do trick-taking solo? But basically you're going against the deck. So like the deck flips over and then you play a card following suit, like trick-taking. If you are familiar with trick-taking, you're playing cards. The cards have different suits, and then you have to usually play the same suit. And then the person who played the higher card gets to take that, and that's called a trick. But when you're playing against the deck, it just flips over, and then you have to play a card, and then like if you win the trick, then you count that towards the score pile, otherwise you don't. And you're trying to get an exact number of cards after you play. So it was kind of interesting, but what I like about trick-taking games isn't necessarily just like the mechanics of playing cards. I like more trying to think about what other people are playing and what they have left in their hands, which doesn't happen in this one because it's just solo. And it felt more of like the randomness that I don't like in trick-taking games. So I didn't like this that much. It does have like cool special powers that you can use, and then you're also like picking which region you're attacking, which is like how many numbers you're trying to go for. So that's like your bid or whatever. But I'm not like a really big fan of trick-taking games or anything. So if you are, then you probably would like this. And then I played a couple games that I got from the Fun Again liquidation sale that said they were like real-time or speed games, and so I was like, oh, I'll try them out. And so one of them was 9 Figure, which is a speed game where there's different like shapes and colors on the table, little wooden shaped colors, and then you flip over a card, and that one has an image made up of those shapes and colors. But at the beginning, you roll some dice, and they tell you what you're looking for. So you're either looking for the shape that wasn't used, or the shape that's used the most, or the color that used the most, or something. And so you're looking at the card with the image, and then you grab the shape that matches what the dice rolled. And so it's like a speed game. It was kind of hard. And like, it seems like if you grab really fast, there wasn't really a penalty except for you don't get to score that round. But we had like a lot of people playing. So the person who was like grabbing really fast seemed to get points more often than other people, because they just like probability wise they would get it. But it was fun. It was kind of like a Ghost Blitz feel. And then the last game was Quick, 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 which is another speed game I got from the Fun Again sale. You have these tiles with different icons on them on the edges, and you're trying to like match them up and get all of them matched together. You're trying to rescue victims in cave or something. And so the tiles represent the different items that the victims need to survive or something. So you have to surround the victims, and you basically get like negative points for everything that you don't fulfill, and then you only get like a little bit of positive points. So it's a high negative scoring game. I played this with like a headache and stuff, so I wasn't really in the mood for a speed game. Both of those actually. I was doing really badly, but I was having trouble finding the matches because I was like focusing too much on trying to find the matches, and then the time ran out really quickly. But probably if I played it when I wasn't feeling so bad, I would do better. But yeah, it's a tough speed game to like matching everything together. Lots of things to try to match and like get right. And that was it for the games I played in June. If I have to pick a favorite newbie game, I wasn't super impressed with those this month, but maybe Blitzschnell. That's like the children's game with the puzzle. That works really well for my kid. I like jigsaw puzzles. My kid likes jigsaw puzzles, so that's fun. And I'm not sure if I had a favorite play overall of the month either. It was a weird month because we went on vacation, so like there wasn't that much gaming, and then it was drowned out by all of the reading of Finding the Dragon to my kids. So I guess that counts as my favorite plays of the month. That's the memory of this month is just reading that over and over again. But anyways, hope you had a good month of June in game plays. Let me know what your favorite game of the month was in the comments below. If you like this video, please click the like button. And if you really like it, you can check out our Ko-fi where you can support us and get cool perks like seeing this video early. But also you can just subscribe to our YouTube channel and watch other videos we have right here. Thanks for watching Board Game Blitz. Bye!